Hello everybody, and welcome to another video. Today, we are going to go through sketchbook number 3. You guys seem to actually enjoy sketchbooks 1 and 2, and those were from, I believe, 2014 and start of 2015. So we're going to continue the line, and eventually we'll get to the sketchbooks that we have, like, recently. One thing you can do if you actually enjoy my drawings, you can also follow me on Instagram, and you guys can see, the posts that I post every day. And you guys can follow me like that. And the little tag, I think it's at Rodgon the artist, and it's always at the bottom of the video, right here. So you guys, like right here. So you guys can check me out there. But how about we get started on this sketchbook? So, this sketchbook, it started in September 28th, 2015. And if any of you guys out there have ever had a sketchbook, you guys will know that the first page of your sketchbook has to look cool. If it doesn't, you end up not being as motivated to do the rest of the book. So I'm pretty sure most of you guys have had a sketchbook, you drew something you did not like in the first couple pages, and you just did not want to draw in it anymore. I have a closet full of sketchbooks from when I was in college and stuff like that I did that with, and it's horrible. I still do it sometimes to this day, like not with my little sketchbooks, with like if I get anything bigger and really cool and I like get like a special binded sketchbook or anything really expensive, like the first page has to really look awesome. If it doesn't, I will feel sad and I will scrap that sketchbook forever. It's like, no, just no. So I took the time to do this first drawing, and I think this is the first sketchbook that is about 99% just ballpoint pen. No pencil and very little sketching outside of actually sketching with a ballpoint pen. And it was kind of stressful at first, but eventually towards the end of the book, you start seeing that it's not as scratchy anymore as the other sketchbooks were. And I progressed pretty well. And eventually, I think the following 3 sketchbooks are literally just pen, and then I start adding highlighter in the next couple books. Now I'm just trying to draw with everyday utensils, nothing special. It's literally just a big pen, like one of those medium-sized big pens. You get like 12 for a pack of for $3. And the book, so you guys, because I always get that in the comments, it's a Kansen 180 5.5 by 8.5. And the reason I like these books is because it doesn't matter what point of the sketchbook it is, it lays nice and flat. The paper's not the thickest, so it's not good for markers or watercolors or anything like that. But if it's just for sketching, it's a perfect sketchbook. So how about we get started? I'm kind of excited to go through this one. It'll be like nice memory lane. All right. So the first page, we have Booby. That's its name, Booby. And Booby, just so you guys have some fun with this, Booby is a representation of how I was feeling at any point in time. So if the bee is happy, it means that I was really happy that day. If the bee is sad, regardless of the context of everything else in the drawing, I was really sad that day. So it's more like a little, hint of how I was feeling any given time. So let's get started. So one focus that I try to have in this sketchbook was to draw women without the need of a pencil. Women have very subtle qualities to them, and it's always been really hard for me to capture that straight with a marker or a ballpoint pen. If I have a pencil, I can sketch and resketch and erase and redo, and I can do that over and over until I get it right. But the exercise for this book was to be able to do it without too much work, too much sketching, to be able to be faster with it. So you'll see a lot of girls, you'll see a lot of monsters, and you'll see a lot of trees and stuff like that, because I try to play with textures a little bit more. So we also have this little character right here. He changes a little bit here and there, because at this point I hadn't really focused too much on exactly the look that I wanted for him. But his name is Archie, and I have a friend. Her name is Carla Newton, and she lives in like where does she live? It's not Ireland. Well, she lives in a different country. I don't remember exactly where. Sorry, Carla. But she got the chance to name him, and she chose Archie. So Archie is Archie. This was a page from Pinterest, and I was just trying to figure out how to work with, animal anatomy, because I really wanted to figure out exactly how he would move, how bone structures and stuff like that. And I do that a lot. Whenever I don't know what to draw and I feel uninspired, I just go and I look in Pinterest and I Google images, just anything, and then just try to figure out something to draw. The goal is not to just not draw, but you should be drawing every day, even if you don't have inspiration. This was when Inktober started, but since I draw everything in ink at this point, every day is Inktober for me, because, I draw in ink all the time. This is little Archie with a demon, and he's always like the little cute character. He's like, imagine what like a little slightly pervy, really cute side of me would be. And if you met me in person, you'd probably realize that I'm not the cutest person in the world. If you didn't know me, you'd probably think that I'm like the most serious asshole in the world. But I'm a very kind person. More girls, animals, derpy animals, more trees. Little Archie with more demons or goblins. And I think it started to be Halloween too, so I started drawing slight Halloween things. This one ended up being a digital commission for people for a wedding, and I ended up refining it after I scanned it and stuff like that. Then little werewolf, little redneck werewolf, little Archie and a pumpkin, little Archie and a ghoul playing the Ouija board. And like I said, he doesn't have a set look yet. I just know that he has some elements that always stick together. The little pattern in his stripes. He has dark hands, dark feet, dark ears, and striped tail. And that just, goes back and forth depending on whatever illustration I am doing at the moment. Trying to practice some feet. And I have maybe thousands of pictures of people's feet in different positions. And I just have it on my computer, so I just, whenever I have time and I don't have anything to do, I'll practice anatomy. I think this was a dude that was smoking hookah next to me, and his head was really shiny. Archie is a zombie. Archie with his eye down. Archie getting abducted by aliens. And this is more Halloween time, so that's why you're seeing a lot of those. My own version of Harley Quinn. I wasn't very happy with this drawing, so I just filled it up with the random doodles around it, just to get a little bit more practice, make the most out of the page. And I think it makes the pages look better too. There's a crow trying to play with some cross-hatching. Failed horribly at it. The texture should resemble, feathers. At this point, it just looks like chicken scratch. Crocodiles and alligators. Whenever you see a crocodile or an alligator, it's because I am referencing back to one of my friends called Rachel. She absolutely hates crocodiles and alligators. She believes for them that they are like modern day dinosaurs, and she absolutely hates dinosaurs. And I love teasing her about it. So I draw them once in a while. I make sure to tag her all the time, so she gets a little bit flustered when she sees them, because I'm like that. Let's see. What do we have here? Ooh. Okay. So, I know that I said most of this is in pen, but this was actually a design that I did for my design firm. This was for a little concept called Battle Planet. And we just came up with this really cheesy name for this sci-fi, made up sci-fi stuff, and we were supposed to make some sci-fi t-shirts. And I believe I have a picture of what it's actually supposed to be finished on the computer, so you'll see it in a second. and I was in a sci-fi fix. So, little sci-fi girl with her sci-fi puppy. A little bit more Archie playing with Archie and the bee. You know, trying to refine a little bit more. More girls. I was trying to find a look that was really appealing and really easy for me to draw, so I could draw them in any situation that I wanted. I think my style comes a little bit from like what Chris Sanders things look like, combined with a little bit of Anna Catfish and a little bit of people here and there, little things that I like from other people. I still don't have a super set refined look for them, but I will. You know, I think it evolves in a couple sketchbooks later, and you actually end up seeing super sexy girls that I can draw doing whatever I want. I didn't like this drawing at all. And I was really kind of frustrated that day too. So you can tell, I don't know if you can tell or not, but whenever I am really frustrated, I just the drawings become really loose, very sketchy, because I'm not a very patient person. So I'll just be really frustrated and just try to draw something, but I can't because my brain is all flustered. And ooh, here it is. This is what it looks like when it's, colored, inked, and, everything. So it's a big change. Let's see, let's go back so you guys can see back and forth. So we have the sketch right here, right? And this is what the finished one looks like. So playing with colors and everything like that. So that one was really fun to work on, and I believe I have another one right here. So I made a little comic book cover, and playing with the idea of the whole battle planet and robots and sci-fi that was really cool. And I believe here's the sketch for that one. And this is what I scanned, and then I did everything else on the computer. I believe the inking was done in Illustrator, and then all the effects and stuff like that were done in Photoshop. Here's another one that's really rough, and here's the final one. So it goes from that to that. And even though I'm not the best with colors, because I'm colorblind. I'm actually red-green colorblind. So everything that I do with colors has to be labeled with different colors. So I make sure that I'm not, coloring yellow things green or green things red and stuff like that. So it's kind of a challenge to do really good colors for me. But I think these came out okay. I was still playing with this type of shape of eyes, so I did not know exactly how to make them looking every single direction. So that's why you see them looking this way and looking that way, and it doesn't really look all great. Also, quick note, I got a lot of comments in the last sketchbook tour video where people whenever I say that something's bad, it seems like some people took it as an offense, or as a little remark towards their own drawing. And no, guys, girls, everything that I do, if I say it's bad, it's because I'm referencing back to what I am doing nowadays, how much I've improved. And when I reflect back on these books, I can see where I was doing something wrong when I haven't been, if I wasn't performing optimally. That's what I'm referring to. I'm not referencing myself to any other artists out there. I think that comparing yourself to other people it's already a bad thing when it comes down to art, because if, for example, some of the people that I look up to are the guys from Creature Box. And man, those guys are amazing. I wish that I could draw like that. And if I put myself down because my drawings weren't as good as theirs, I would never achieve anything, because I would never be able to, amount to that. I know that eventually, maybe in the future, I'll be able to get to that level. And it's something to strive for, as opposed to me putting myself down because I'm not at that level yet. So just, whenever you compare yourself to yourself, you know, like to your past self, and see how much you've improved like that. Don't try to compare yourself to other people, because it's never going to be a good experience. And there's people go through different things, so you never know what, you know, how much work they put into their work compared to you, etc., etc. So it's kind of pointless to do it. So, still sticking to the sci-fi theme, and you'll also see a lot of pandas. I like pandas. I like bears. And I like raccoons. And I like little furry animals. As you can see, little derpy animal farting. And more girls. And I'll make notes like this constantly. Like, especially nowadays. Whenever I draw something that I don't like, first of all, I make sure that I write down what the hell is wrong with it. And then I'll just make reflective like notes like this. Like, dude, like, what were you thinking? That way, the next time that I'm going to draw that thing, it's just, I put a little bit more attention to it. And hopefully I improve by telling myself that I did something wrong. Little witch girl, little Archie flying. See, I changed his ears in this one. I didn't know what to do with him. And here I made him like, you know, more like a little cat. Made him to a cupcake. As you can see, a lot of the texture with pen at this point is just chicken scratch. Because I didn't really know exactly how to like properly color or like fill in with pen. I was just kind of just doing it for doing it. Little Archie and an octopus. I think I was a little bit sad this day. You know, so I drew him sad. He was like, what the fuck? And, you know, little Archie and the booby are just like, more sci-fi stuff. I always wondered what it would be like if you really had to pee in a spacesuit. I'm pretty sure they have like little bladder thingies, like bags in them, but I don't know. They opened up the Tasmanian Devil exhibit at the San Diego Zoo, and I remember I went to draw them. So there's a couple Tasmanian devils. Little Archie getting eaten by a plant. Archie. This one actually ended up being a tattoo for somebody too. This was really cool. And you'll see, like, sometimes you'll see like little like collages like this. And I think I mentioned it before, but I normally draw these because I don't like something like particularly that I like drew on the page. So I just make it into an exercise to be able to fill up the rest of the page. I'll draw little like heads or animals that fit into the little empty spaces, and then it just makes it like into a cool exercise, and it ends up making the page look really cool. So that's why I do it. This one was made from like, I think everybody was like talking about like racist stuff or like races in Facebook, and I just ended up drawing that. Cute girl, big collage. Pretty much the same thing. I wasn't completely happy with her, so I just filled it up. No, Pikachu. And I like drawing Pikachu more like just a like ambiguous mammal instead of a mouse or a cat or anything like that. I know he's a mouse, but I just don't like drawing him like that. It's too simple, so I'd like to make him more expressive. In this one, if you guys, you guys will probably notice, but I mess up on my sketches a lot. And whenever I do mess up to the point where, it's too bad, either nowadays I'll use a Post-it, I'll put it, and I'll just redraw that area. But before, I didn't do that. So I just used to, like cover the areas that I didn't like. And in this case, I turned the girl into a ninja. So it looked better as a ninja than it would with the messed up face. So I just drew that. This one I went to CTN. CTN is an animation convention up here in Burbank, very close to San Diego. So, and then it's like all these artists and animators from schools and industry go there. And then, I met all these people and I was drawing them while we were waiting, like in the lobby or something like that. And these guys were really cool. She was really cute. And he was like the funniest dude ever. Like, he had the most epic beard. These were notes from the event. Just random doodles while we were waiting to get in line places. And this was practice because I got into a Wacom competition where they gave you like 3 words and a random generator, and they had everybody draw for like 10 minutes. And I got like I think it was top 8 out of about 250 to 300 people. And you had like this whole like showdown at the end where you went against a pro. And even though I didn't progress past 8th place, I think that I did pretty good. But it was really fun being on stage competing against other people, especially professionals like Disney animators and stuff. So it was like, yeah, it was like really kick-ass. I was really nervous. I think I threw up. I think before and after. Like, I'm not used to being in like the mega spotlight like that. Even though I do make videos and thousands of people see my art every day, it's still really nerve-wracking being in front of a stage in front of thousands of people. More reference pages just for posing. More little cute animals. I think I was trying to draw One Punch Man, but it was like super simple. Reference stuff from Pinterest. Sorry about that. More poses. Just trying to draw from like memory and just trying to just draw different things. Another alligator. And I was kind of like sad that day, so booby sad. So even though the drawing's really happy, like I was kind of like sad. Long day at work. And these were from Pinterest. I forget the artist. And I think I get better at writing the actual name of the artist, but these were just, practicing different, aspects of anatomy and stuff. I didn't like the girl that I drew here, so I just filled it up with all the other stuff. Little bunny. This one ended up being a tattoo for somebody. So, I did a couple concepts and I just refined the final drawing. And this one's the one that they ended up getting. Like, I cleaned it up in the computer and made super clean lines for them. But, yeah, you get an idea. This one, I think I started with this one, and I hated it. I did not like it at all, so I just did the same thing. I just filled it up with random stuff. Very weird alligator with, like, humanist anatomy. Kind of a weird angle, too. I think I was just trying to play with different, like, poses. Koalas! The only thing that I like more than pandas and, little furry animals, and including one of those furry animals, are koalas. Koalas are just, like, adorable. They're so derpy in themselves, and they're always drunk because all they eat is eucalyptus, and they fall off the trees that they're sleeping on and stuff. Adorable. I should draw more koalas. Little Archie and Booby. This is when I hit 3,000 followers. And I was so excited because I never imagined that I would get to that, point. Now I'm up to almost 36,000. And woof, like, oh man, like, it still amazes me that all you guys actually like my work. Yeah. This one was really funny because I remember going out with friends and they introduced me to like somebody, and then I thought that she was pretty, so I just went up to her and was like, "Oh, you're really pretty." And she just gave me this look and she was like, thanks. And I was like, oh, okay, all right, never mind. Okay, you're still pretty, but never mind. Archie and the Snowman. I think we started to get like closer to like Christmas. And it was getting really cold, so I was still running in the mornings. Another weird collage that I didn't really like. No baby hippo. More animals and trying to like just figure out different posing for our stuff. And I think these are all referenced from Pinterest. Like the poses. The faces not necessarily, but I was just trying to get poses from Pinterest. Just trying to break down the human body in different ways. And trying to make sure that all the spaces are used. Whenever you don't like a drawing, just make sure that you're actually making use of that whole page. doesn't matter what you draw at that point. It's just a matter of drawing so you can get, your practice in. Just trying to play with more posing. Little Booby being an asshole. Like, trying to do a little bit more storytelling. I've never been a really good comic book drawing person. Like, I don't do sequential art that much, but I want to get better at it. It would be really cool to release like a little webcomic that I can release once a week or something. I'm not that funny, so I have to figure out how to like compensate for that. Pandas and koalas. I was a little irritated that day. And more Booby and Archie. Okay, I think this is when I remember this was after like a little stint of trying to do online dating. And I tried to go on a few dates and it was horrible. Horrible. Every single woman that I met was crazy. Or maybe I was a crazy one. I don't know. But it was just like absolutely like hysterical. Like no kidding. One of them got jealous of the waitress that we like saw because she asked me what drink I wanted. And I was just like, what the hell is going on here? I've met you for like 20 minutes. Come on. And this, I was just like wondering what my future self would think of my kid self. Vice versa. And I think we would conflict because my younger self was like really determined to be certain things, and I don't think I ended up being those. This was me trying to explain to a client what a Pantone color was. If you guys don't know what a Pantone color is, it's a set of colors that are established by Pantone. And they give you little codes so that whenever you go to a client and you tell them like, hey, your design is going to be Pantone 347. They'll look at that color and be able to tell you if that's the color they want or not. In case you want to know. More collages because I didn't like the drawing. This guy was a complete douchebag. He was like trying to make his girlfriend pay for a bill, even though he's like the one that ordered like super expensive stuff. Like even though it's like fair to like pay half and half, I guess. He was just really douchey about it. I was sick. I started to get sick, and then I kept on being sick. And then that combined with other things led to drawings like these. I was in a very bad state of mind back then. I was constantly depressed. I was really sad. I was like a total bummer to be around. And every single person would just tell me like, just be happy. Good things will come. Trust me. Cheer up, dude. Oh, you are so talented. Why are you sad? Being talented and being able to create cool things and being sad they're not polar opposites. You can create cool stuff and be really sad. And like just because you're really talented doesn't mean that it's gonna help you with your depression. So I don't know if you guys ever have anybody that has like constant depression issues, just give them a hug, spend some time with them. Like don't try to like fix them, because it doesn't help. It just makes things worse. It makes us feel like we have like something wrong going with ourselves or something. I think this was just like constantly me like giving 100% to people when feeling like I can't give enough. Same thing here. I think I was just like in a bad state of mind then. Then I just started drawing random animals. More collages with somebody that didn't like. Somebody told me that my artwork was very kawaii, so I had to look up what kawaii is, and I guess kawaii is really cute in like Japanese, so I was happy. It wasn't an insult. More random animals, and if you can see, the line work is getting a lot cleaner. Like, so I'm getting a lot more comfortable with the actual pen. I'm getting faster, because remember, all these were made within 30 minutes time. Like, none of these took more than 30 minutes. Because I would just do them during my coffee breaks. I think I was really sad that day again. And it's really funny because whenever I post something like this, it seems like it's a very, 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 very gruesome drawing, and then I'm probably like super depressed and like on the verge of doing something bad. But in reality, it's not. I'm just very graphic with whatever I'm feeling emotional. Some people were actually messaging me like, hey, like asking me like to not like go overboard and like not like do something I would regret and stuff like that. Like I think they thought that I was suicidal. It's not the case, guys. If you guys ever met me in person, you'd realize that I'm like, I just store everything up and then I let it out in my artwork. So yeah, that's it with another collage. A dude that was sitting while I was drinking coffee and drawing, and I swear to God, he was just like in this pose for like 30 minutes. See, another. Just trying to like do some self-reflection on myself. I think I was just like thinking of that I never stay around with new people anymore, because I end up finding a lot of flaws in people, and the older I get, the less tolerance I have for people that don't have things in common with me. More collages, more animals, and drawings of me. More drawings from like Pinterest for anatomy. I think this lady, her name's Danielle Pioli art. She's a really cool artist. I found her on Instagram and I liked the pose that she drew, so I drew my own version of that. More reference sketches from Pinterest. Little mouse. Little punk girl. Yoda with little Archie. No baby Archie. Mermaid with booby. More drawings referenced from Pinterest poses. I'll get this out of the way. And I think everybody should do stuff like this whenever they draw something you don't like. I do this more often nowadays, but I like to make sure that I reference the part that I like, and then start making notes of everything else that you don't. Because if you're not self-reflecting on your own artwork and realizing what you're doing wrong or right, you're never going to progress. So you have to make sure that you're analyzing your own drawings and making sure that you are, in a learning path. You always have something else to learn. You just have to make sure you realize that. I reached 4,700 followers, and I was insanely happy. Like, I was just like, whoa, dude, like, I can't imagine. More girls, kind of crazy girls. Someone ate my donut at work. I wasn't really that pissed, but gave me something to draw. Remember, I went to a skating event, and I saw this really cute girl that had like, she's just like a little skater girl. And I'm a sucker for her. Like, girls that skate. If I ever have a girlfriend, I hope that she skates, and if she doesn't, I'm gonna buy her a skateboard. I'm gonna have her skate with me. It's even if I have to push her the whole way. Skating is a very big part of me. Like, for me, it's just really relaxing, and it's helped me through my life. Little narwhal. More reference drawings from Pinterest. I did not like this pose at all. Tried to do it from memory, and it just came out really stiff. Like, this is really nice, but the hands. No. I do this a lot too. Like, at this point, like, I'm a caricature artist, and I've been doing it for like 14 years. So a bad habit you develop doing that is that you end up drawing heads bigger than the bodies are supposed to be. So you get that a lot, and it's really hard habit to get rid of if you don't have an erasing tool. So I get better as the thing goes, but it's like a common theme. Oh, sorry about that. More Archie and a narwhal. More random girls. Little weird poses. Little octopus gamer. And I have this one in here because I thought I lost my sketchbook. And I just drew this on a random piece of paper, and I just, pasted it in there when I found it again. Thank God I found it. I was really upset. More random girl poses. Same thing. This really big head, really small body. This is more of the good proportions, and that's why I drew these afterwards. Well, I was just really having like a super bad day. Like everything seemed to go wrong in this one. Little tiny like process sketch of how I visualize it in my head and then how it comes out. Little face hugger, like body snatcher. Little killer whale. I miss SeaWorld. Regardless of everything that's going on with the whole place, I think when I was growing up, it was a really nice place to go to. I love whales. More girls. Same thing. Very good. But I get better as time goes by. I break out of my habits a little bit. People ask me all the time, how do you get better? How do you get better? And I think my only trick to getting better is pure repetition and self-reflection. If you can't tell when your drawings are wrong, you can't get better. And that is something that I believe in 100%. Like little notes, like, your arm is weird. And he likes boobies. I think this was just like, I saw like a really scarred up dude and he looked so badass I had to draw him. And this one I tried to draw Grumpy Cat, and then I didn't like it, so I was going to start filling everything up, and for some reason I didn't finish it. I like this one though. Just random girl with like caveman girl or whatever. Super rare occasion where I will literally rip out the page of my sketchbook because I did not like it. I hated this page and I ripped it out. Little mermaid, a little body snatcher thing. And it comes to the conclusion. This was the end of it. It went not from October. It went from September 28th to February 23rd. Oh man, 4 or 5 months. So, yeah, this completed this sketchbook, and that's it. I will post another sketchbook number 4 and sometime in the future. I hope that you guys had a good time. Sorry the video is like 40 minutes long, but I was trying to like give you guys a little bit of an insight into those 4 or 5 months out of my life, and you can see hopefully a little bit of progression from the like first couple pages to the last. And I think that concludes our video for today. So, thank you guys for watching. I am super happy that we finally passed the 10,000 subscriber mark. But if you guys haven't subscribed yet and you guys want to see more of my artwork, click down there. Subscribe. I think it's over here. Click the notification icon if you guys want to be notified when a new video comes out. You guys can check out my other videos. I have other sketchbook tours, and I have other tutorial videos and speed drawings, and have videos of how to live as an artist, how to make it as a freelancer, how to draw without inspiration, all that stuff. And if you guys have a certain video or certain ideas that you guys want me to, do or make a video of, just leave in the comments. I make sure to reply to most of the comments. So that'll be it for today. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day or night, depending on when you're watching. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.